As you can tell from the devices I have around me, there's plenty of help available on Cockpit Organization.
Chances are you will go at this organization in one of two ways. If you own an airplane, your organizational devices will reside in your airplane, ready for each flight. In this case, you may use some that are bulkier than if you use the other method, carrying your equipment to the airplane for each flight. How you organize is strictly a matter of personal preference, but there are some good practices to follow. One is to have a flight bag of adequate size to carry what you need. It's important to get to the airplane with everything, and for that you need to know where each item is located. Bags are available that will hold it all, too, including the headsets and the multiple flashlights that Rob mentioned earlier. Flight logs are a part of organization. To each his own on these, just be sure whatever you prepare is accurate, available, and legible. Actually, with flight plans and GPS navigators, flight logs are almost a thing of the past. Just do be sure you input a flight plan in the GPS for every flight. At the airport, take a minute to organize the cockpit for departure before starting the engine. The approach chart for the departure airport or the takeoff alternate should be available and ready, whether it's an electronic or a paper chart. So should the airport diagram if it's a complicated place to taxi. If the airport has a standard instrument departure procedure, that chart should be at hand and the procedure should be put into the GPS if you have such. Finally, the en route chart for the area should be folded open and ready for reference. Doing all that properly might take a lot of clips and boards and whatever if you don't have a GPS, but it's definitely worth doing. Having sloppily folded chart books or charts flopping around the cockpit like a bunch of fresh-caught fish just isn't the way to do it. I'll be talking about the checklist in a bit. For now, just consider it something the well-organized pilot uses. En route organization means at all times having the chart folded and displaying the present position and route for some miles ahead. Again, if there's a GPS on board with a map, this can be used for en route orientation. The chart needs to be secured. A loose chart on lap inevitably becomes a chart on the floor, under the seat, or between the seat and the door. For arrival, you're back to a means of displaying standard terminal arrival charts, if applicable, and approach charts. The same devices that work for departure work here, including a GPS with arrival routes. I always thought that a pilot's organization skills are reflected by the condition of the cockpit after the airplane is parked.
If it looked like the pilot was getting ready to wallpaper the inside of the airplane with en route charts, it's probably time to neaten up.